All right, so I'm trying to line up my tie rods as best I can. So I take a square edge, put it down. I put that pencil under there to kind of hold it up at about the height that it would be, trying to get it as close as I can. And then that to be about the dead center of that. So I think that's probably as close as I'm going to get it. And then I will just mark that with my yellow marking pen. And then once, because I've got to take this off in order to get this on. So once I do that, then I'll know how far I need to wind this back, and then I can tighten down the locking nut. So I think I'm pretty well lined up. That's as close as I think that's going to get. So I think that's pretty close. Okay, so I started cleaning up the bearings and everything for the front wheels, and they look like they're in great shape. They spin nice and easy and everything. So got all the grease, just some mineral spirits and a brush, and just wiped them clean, and actually used my inflator to go ahead and blow some air in there and dry them off as well. But the mineral spirits dry so fast, so I'm not worried about rusting it. Cleaned up the other parts as well, and then cleaned up the inside of the hub, and the races look fine too. So I think I'm in good shape. I'll just be able to repack and reuse these, and I'll know that those are good. So I still have the other one to do, but yeah. So I got my new used calipers, and I decided to go ahead and paint them. So I decided to go with black. So here's the first coat on one of the rear ones. Here's one of the front ones. So I figured I'd do one of each. Then I'll put them back together, because I'll have the other ones to show me exactly how they go back together. And then I will do the other one. So that's just the first light coat on them, and I'll put another one on in just a few minutes, and then I'll do the front ones. But it's going to look a lot nicer than what was on there, that's for sure. Okay, here they are all painted up. So I am going to just let these dry overnight. What I did also was I stuffed some paper towels in there, and I used the old rubber seals to seal that up so the paint wouldn't get inside or on, and then I taped over the holes as well. So I mean, there'll be spots open where I taped over the holes, but I mean, oh well. And yeah, we'll put those back together tomorrow, and then I'll show you kind of before and after, because the other two that I still have to do look pretty much the same. They all looked the same. They weren't in bad shape. They were in pretty good shape. And I'll show you how I got the pistons out as well. I did get another package, and this was from Eastwood. I bought some aerosol injected cleaner. So what I'm going to do is I am going to flush out the brake lines, and I'll flush out the clutch line from the master to the slave. I didn't buy a new one of those. So I will use this stuff to flush out the lines. I just went ahead and ordered 2 cans since I had to pay for shipping anyway, so I know I'll have enough. I'm sure 1 can would have been plenty, but I got 2, and we'll flush out the gunk that's in those lines. And I don't know, maybe try to clean the brake reservoir out with that. Maybe that'll get it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yep, we're just moving along. All right, 2 calipers painted and rebuilt. So here's the front one. So that's like a before, and that's an after. And then the rear, before and after. So yeah, Yeah, so I did one of each, just that way I had the other one so I could see how it gets put back together. And I wanted to see how they came out, too. So it looks like they came out pretty good. All in all, I'm kind of happy I did black. Because I think that might look pretty good against this. And then with the cup tires that I have. So I think that'll look pretty good. So I told you I would show you how I was getting these calipers out, and I'm actually using compressed air. So this was my old brake line. Remember the one that broke? So I got a piece of tubing on that, attach it to there, and then attach the tubing to the air compressor. And I am using only like 40 pounds of pressure because these are actually not that stuck. And I put a block of wood in there. Let's see here. So you can see how it's come out a little bit more. There you go. Done. Safe, effective, and easy. All right, so we're getting ready to do the CVs. So I have already cleaned all the grease and grime and everything and cleaned the threads and all that for there. So we're going to try to do this first one here. So I got the bearings in. Everything moves nice and freely. So we will get those packed in. And then try putting this one on the car. So the boots, I noticed this when I was taking this off. There's these little rings here. I forgot what they called them. But you've got to, and I noticed this when I was trying to take off the boot and trying to get it off of here. So what I ended up doing was I just cut the boot and put it over it because it was just easier. But you got to get the boot on first, then put this on, because you can't get this part of the boot over this without being a real pain in the ass. So I put the boots on first, then I put this on. Then I'll go ahead and grease up my CVs, and we will put them in. So this is the right inside one. So I will mark that so I know that that's going to be inside. How am I going to mark that? I'll figure out a way to mark that. But, yep. So that is what we're going to work on right now. I also wanted to show this. I cleaned all these and got everything out of them and cleaned them up as best I could. So when they go in, they're easier to put in. Cleaned all the threads out and everything. So it should be going in fairly easy. All right, so half success. I got one side in today. The clamps for the boots are too small. I can't get them on. Yeah, they don't reach. So, kind of interesting. I opened it up, put it around, and the end, so when I open it up, this end only comes to like here when I try to go around that. So I guess I'm going to have to put zip ties on or find clamps that are big enough maybe to go around. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, the ones that came in the box don't fit here. But success, everything went in pretty easy. You know, when it's clean, it's nice. So yeah, didn't have a whole lot of struggle with it, and everything's torqued down, and we'll probably do the other one tomorrow. I'm kind of running out of time today, so we'll work on the other one tomorrow, get that one in, and maybe get the other calipers painted. And that might be it for this weekend. Oh, I need to get the fluid in the transmission too. Maybe I'll do that before I put the CV in. Probably be easier with it out of the way. So maybe I'll do that also. I gotta remember to do that before I put the CV in, Rob. But I know I'm gonna forget. But yep. All right, so transmission fluid is changed, so I put in MT90. That's what I ended up putting in. It was really hard to find something that was GL4. But basically what I did was I put that pan, Will was out helping me, so he held the tube, and I had the funnel out here, and just filled it. The problem we ran into was there were times where the tube went like this, and it started running out, and there was like one bottle in. I'm like, what? So we pulled it out, let it settle, and then made a conscious effort to make sure the tube was like this in the hole. And then it filled it up. I ended up putting all 3 bottles in, just because when it was like this, there was stuff that drained out. And then by the time I ended the 3rd bottle, it was coming out. So it's hard to see, but there's probably, and everything got in there, and then I just put it back in the bottle. I'm not going to use it anymore, but it's about here probably in the bottle. So that's right about the amount that needs to be in there. So yeah, you're supposed to just fill it till it starts dripping out. And that's what we did, and we just let it finish draining out on its own. And put the plug in, 30 foot-pounds, and cleaned it up. Now I can work on getting that axle done. Oh, the other thing I did was the other calipers are now painted as well. So I'll be able to put those back together. Probably not today. I'm going to just let them dry. It's a little more humid today than it has been. It's not horrible, but it is a little more humid. So yesterday I got that one CV in, and then the other, I was able to get the all of these put together. So those are ready to go in. The yellow dot, that's the inside. So I'll get those together. There's the boots for that. And we'll get those on, and I think we'll be good to go. All right, so success. Both drive axles are in. Everything spins freely and nicely. So, very, very happy. I went in pretty much without any issues or anything. So, and it's easier when everything's clean. You know, you're not struggling to get bolts and stuff in. So, that is done. The fluid's done. Calipers are painted. And I think that's going to be it for this week. Still waiting on my control arm. Still waiting on the grease for my steering rack. I've got to rebuild the hubs and grease those. I do have to do that. So I don't think I'm going to start that today. I think I'm done for the day, getting the CV joint done and filled, and that was a good day. So till next week.